So for those who have never done it before, I've already went ahead and pulled the rear drive shaft. Okay, we got it pulled out of the transfer case, disconnected it from the pumpkin on the rear end. We've got our retainer clips and our retainer clip bolts. Okay, now it was kind of difficult. I need to invest in a GoPro for this kind of stuff, but recording as I'm doing it is a very difficult task. But if you've never pulled a rear drive shaft before, it's very simple. Takes a matter of about 10 minutes. A lot of the videos online say it's going to take you an hour to 2 hours. No, it is not. And a lot of videos tell you to go ahead and jack it up. Yes, I will go ahead and tell you that is the safest way to do it. However, as long as you're on a level surface, if you don't have a floor jack and jack stands, or your truck just sits too high and you don't have high enough jack stands, whatever the case may be, you can take log, brick, whatever, wood blocks, something, chalk the rear tires. I recommend chalking the front ones as well, but I'm on a level enough surface I only need to chalk the rear. It's not an issue. But go ahead and put some sort of wheel chocks under the rear tires, or just set it on cement blocks, something. Anyway, so quick rundown of how this goes. It's a very simple task, as I said. Takes about 10 minutes, as long as you do it properly. I'm looking for a wasp right this minute. He just flew under the truck. Oh, there he went. He just flew away. We're going to try not to get stung by any wasps today, but if it happens, it happens. Like I said, it's in an earlier video, it's pretty cloudy where we're at right now. It's nice and windy, nice and breezy, so it is comfortable. Anyway, so back to this rear drive shaft. If you have never pulled one before, on the front there is a U-joint, but also on the rear, this is the rear pumpkin. These are your retainer bolts. If you look at the edges of your drive shaft, you have, or the rear end of the drive shaft, you have 4 bolts and those 2 retainer clips that I just showed you at the beginning of the video. It's going to be an 8mm if it's Dodge rear end. I'm pretty sure that a majority of them are going to be about the same. Go ahead and make sure you get a set of metric and SAE standard sockets and wrenches. I mean, that's just to be on the safe side in case you run into any issues. But you're going to pull those 4 bolts, okay? Once you pull those 4 bolts, you're going to need something. I used channel locks. They worked pretty good. It was pretty simple. Make sure you keep one hand on the back end of the rear of the drive shaft. But once you pull those 4 bolts, go ahead and wedge something small. I recommend channel locks with rubber grips. Keeps you from doing any kind of damage to your rear end or to the drive shaft. But wedge it in there, pry forward with a little bit of pressure. It will push the drive shaft forward into your transfer case, and once you do so, you can pull your rear end of the drive shaft will drop, and you'll be able to slide your drive shaft forward, get enough clearance, lift up on it, and pull it straight out. There is no need for wrenches or bolts at on the front portion where your drive shaft connects to the transfer case. Right here, these 4 bolts and those 2 clips I showed you are all you're going to have to remove on the rear drive shaft. Now, since we've already got the rear pulled, I'm going to attempt to record it, and I'll post it after I finish. I'm going to go ahead and pull the front drive shaft as well. And basically, for those of you who don't know, these videos are being posted because I'm in the process of a 5.9 360 and 46RE 2500 transmission and engine swap over from this 1500 that I picked up that had already been converted with Dana 60 8 lugs. It had already been converted, but this truck was wrecked, so I'm pulling the engine, the transmission, and eventually we're going to pull and rebuild the axles at a later date. But for the time being, we're just pulling transmission and disconnecting the drivetrain and the driveline. So this next video I'm going to attempt to record, it's going to be the front drive shaft removal. So I'll get with y'all here shortly.